One of the hardest parts of any disruption in life isn't always the disruption itself. It's the re-entry. It's the return. It's the resuming, which I've talked about so much on this show. It's coming back after you've been sick, coming home after the trip, returning to your routine after a family emergency or stressful stretch of life. Welcome to your daily hit of grace and grit, your quick dose of inspiration to kickstart your day. This show is proudly sponsored by Rumble and Rise. To find out more about joining Rumble and Rise, head on over to graceandgrit.com/ready to rumble. I'm Courtney Townley, and here is today's hit. There's often this quiet expectation that the moment things settle down, you should be picking up right where you left off. The workouts, the routines, the productivity, the normal rhythm of life. And let's be honest, it almost feels like it's impossible not to do that because life is pretty damn demanding. But the truth that we have to recognize and honor if we want to be consistent with our self-care and we want to be healthy humans is that disruptions often take more out of us than we realized. They are very resource heavy. So even if the event has passed, your energy might still be trying to catch up. That's not a failure. That's just reality. Your focus might be scattered. Your body might still be recovering. And when we ignore that, when we ignore that we need a little more grace for the re-entry, and we push ourselves to immediately perform at the same level we were at before, we often end up feeling really frustrated or like we are failing. But re-entry isn't about jumping back into life at full speed. It's about reconnecting with it gradually. I've always found it really interesting when I've had clients, get really misaligned for very legit reasons for quite a period of time. So they might have a death in the family, they might have an illness or have to have a surgery that puts them out for a while. And when they finally are ready to re-enter, they really do try to get back to everything they were doing when they were at the peak of their health. And to me, that's insanity. Think of what you had to do to get to that peak. It was a gradual climb. And when you've had weeks, months, or years off, it makes absolutely no sense that that would be your starting place. So reconnecting with your anchors gradually. Maybe the first step is reestablishing one supportive habit, right? An anchor habit. Like, okay, I know when I put myself to bed, everything gets easier. So that's going to be the thing that I start with. Or I know that when I put some forethought into my food for the day, I tend to be better nourished and less reactive. So that's what I'm going to do. Maybe it's a walk for you. Maybe it's going to bed a little bit earlier, right? Not because you're trying to prove something, but because you're gently reminding yourself of the anchors that help you to realign again. That's it. Re-entry is a transition, and transitions deserve a little patience. They really do, but we're not so good at giving them that. The goal isn't to snap back into who you were before the disruption. The goal is to find your way back to yourself with a little compassion along the way. There's an idea. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do to re-enter after an absence is just to give yourself the grace of starting small again. If you do that, you're going to be back to where you left off sooner than you would be if you try to just jump right back into everything at once. If this stirred something inside of you, imagine what a whole book of clarity and courage could ignite. The Consistency Code, a midlife woman's guide to deep health and happiness, goes even deeper into the mindset and practices that create real, meaningful change at midlife. Grab your copy today over at theconsistencycode.com and keep the momentum alive.